So yeah, to the question, what has brought this U-shaped status quo? Thank you for that question, and also whether it is sustainable. I think for now, what we have seen is that a lot has been done by the government in terms of trying to get things from a worse situation that we were in 2019, probably also getting into 2020. But I think 2018, 2019, that's where things really went bad for us, where we saw inflation just rallying, the exchange rate depreciating quite fast. But what we have seen is that we have seen the Treasury tightening their purse in terms of money supply. Yes, it's still high when you look at it, or when you compare to it at a global standards. Our growth in money supply is still high. And why am I talking about money supply? Money supply is mostly what leads to inflation. Inflation is always a monetary or a money supply issue. Historically, it's a monetary. The more money you have, the more money you print, the more inflation you have. And but what we have seen is that Treasury has tried to, maybe not necessarily to reduce money supply, but in terms of where the money is deployed. If you look at, for those where we have been following Zimbabwe, if you look at in terms of what has been happening in terms of infrastructure, we are spending more on infrastructure than we were doing in the last couple of years. Civil servants used to get 90%. The cost of civil servants used to be 90% of our budget, our national budget. But now it's below 40%. I know it's at a very it puts civil servants at a very difficult situation where they cannot afford a lot of basic things. But the hope is that the investments that is being put into infrastructure, your roads, your dams and stuff, hopefully we are looking at a situation where those investments will start giving us returns that will help us grow the cake in terms of our national GDP. So these are the things where, so in short, the way that the country's revenues are being administered is now a little bit better than they were, where they were only going towards consumption, meeting the cost of civil servants 90%. But now some of that is now going into infrastructure, and infrastructure is a key enabler of economic growth. I will continue in the next. I just didn't want this to be too long. I'll continue in the next voice note.